Hey everyone, my name is Zach. I'm a 22-year-old competitive boulder from Canada, currently living near Frankfurt, Germany. Welcome back to the COMPCLIMB training series, where I record all of my training, provide in-depth analysis of every session, and just chat about climbing with an emphasis on competition. If you enjoy the series, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a ton. In today's episode, we are continuing yesterday's day of training with our second session. This is part 2 of this day of training. And in the morning session of today, we were climbing at Beta Bloc, where we climbed like a million things. We did so much climbing in just an hour session. And I lost like a bit of skin and I was like pretty tired. And this is like our second day on. And we chose, Beta Bloc is a great gym, as I discovered in the session, but probably a pretty bad gym to choose for this session. So we've heard like lots of good things about Beta Bloc and everybody tells us to go here. And like another great thing that we've heard about this gym is that it's really stiff and like the boulders here are hard. And then we get to the gym and I'm like looking around and they're also like, they look like a lot of physical boulders. And under normal circumstances, I would be so excited and I'd be really like psyched to have a session here and try all these hard physical looking boulders. But it's day 2, session 2, I'm losing skin. We got a comp coming up. I have to like try and be careful. So it ended up being quite the challenge. And I was like a little bit tired going into the session, but I was able to use my psych to my advantage and overcome the fatigue. And so yeah, we have like a few physical, like quite physical looking boulders that we're trying in this session. So yeah, like I said, we've heard like a lot of great things about this gym and it definitely lived up to its reputation. These boulders are really well set, like cool holds, cool moves, and it was a lot of fun. And so the grading system here is like, it was a little bit confusing. It's pretty thorough. It's a cool, like unique grading system. I kind of appreciate it when gyms kind of try and break the mold. So it was like, there's like the grades are number 1 to 6, and then there's 3 tiers of each number. So there's like, you can have a 6, like a 6 that's second tier, and then like the third tier would be the hardest. So that first boulder that we did, the first boulder of this session, the yellow one was 6 with the second tier. So it was like the second hardest grade that you can do. And I managed to flash it, which was pretty cool. I was feeling tired, but it was kind of that interesting feeling where I was feeling tired but strong. So yeah, that made for like an interesting session. Like I definitely felt like I could grab really hard, but my muscles just like weren't super fresh. So yeah, I was able to do that first boulder on the first go. And then here we're moving on to this boulder, which was really cool with these really bad slopers. And this is like kind of a weakness of mine. Like sort of the slopers where it's like almost like a lot of wrist strength that's required. And so I usually feel like quite weak in these positions, and it's honestly, I need to figure out like a nice solid way to like train my almost wrist strength a bit more. I've always kind of gone back and forth and like thought about this. Maybe I need to talk to someone on like some tips for how to train your wrist strength. Like I know you got like your sort of wrist wrench, and like I have a friend that used to like training that. But yeah, oftentimes I find like I have weak wrists and that holds me back. Like for example, that silver that I kind of, the biggest one on that climb is a pretty good hold, but I struggled to really hold onto it well and like lock off nicely to the next hold, just because I felt like a lack of stability in my wrist, and it felt like pretty weak. And I experienced this a lot, and maybe that's like also why I have this like kind of permanent wrist injury. I just like don't have strong wrists, so that's something I need to work on. But that last boulder was also really cool. Like those holds at the end were really bad. You saw I kind of had to like do a cool little foot cut and float the feet over. Really fun boulder, really well set. That would kind of be like a copy and paste boulder in like competition. Really cool. And so now we're moving on to this boulder. I loved the look of this boulder. Like pinches, physical, hard, like super well set, like nice holds. This is just my favorite kind of climbing, but it was terrible circumstances. This was the last boulder of the day, second day on, second session, blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to try this boulder so badly. So I was giving my best effort and I was able to put a few good tries on it. I found I cut out a couple tries that were just like super low quality, and what I would like jug up and then I would like get onto a position and like slip right out of it. I gave like a really couple super half-assed attempts, like trying to suss out the moves, and then I decided, no, you know what, I'm gonna send this boulder right now. It's just physical climbing. All I need to do is get super fired up. So I put my headphones on, like put on some music to get me really fired up, and then you can see here I start giving some super solid ground attempts. And sometimes like I find that I can just turn it on in training, and even though like my body's tired, if I can just get myself fired up enough and just almost like, especially with this style of climbing where it's just physical and there's not much thinking to go around, I kind of just turn my brain off and just like start powering through some sessions. Like that's always a lot of fun when I can do that, and so I found that's kind of what I did here. But yeah, this boulder is cool. This ending sequence here was really hard. You can see that I'm trying this heel hook. I kind of just wrote off like a dead point between these slopers like immediately. I never even tried it because I thought like this left hand was super bad, and I thought there's no way that I'd be able to jump between these two holds. But then Maddie finished the session and came and sat with me and was watching me try this boulder, and she said, "Why don't you just jump between those holds? Like, oh, that looks so good." And I said, "Maddie, you're crazy. These holds are too bad. I can't do that." Then here you can see I'm about to just. This is my last try of the day, and I was like, you know what? Okay, this is my last ground attempt of the day, and I tried so hard. I got so fired up, and I was ready to stick this hold. I couldn't because this heel was just like so bad and kept slipping off, and it was too high and weird. And it's definitely not. It didn't feel like what they were intended. But yeah, like I said, so Maddie said, told me to just go try the jump anyway as my last attempt of the day. I said, oh, okay, fine. I'll just go show you how it doesn't work. And then it turns out that this was like the best method to do this boulder, and I tried a bunch of things that were just stupid, and I was able to stick this jump first go. So maybe with a few less wasted attempts, and if I just tried this earlier on, I could have got this end of this super awesome physical boulder. But yeah, I had a lot of fun working this, but apparently I was just wasting my time with this heel hook. I gave like 5 maximum effort ground attempts with this heel hook beta, like trying to stick it as hard as I could, but it was not the best beta. And then you can see there on my very last try of the day, I kind of slapped at the finish, not committing hard enough. I think I'm about to show my finger. Yeah, I started bleeding a bit, which is not the most ideal with the comp coming up, but now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of like, it was like the baby kind of blood where you have a tiny hole in your finger and it's just like bleeding a bit. It should be fine for the event, especially because what's nice about this Jackalope event as well is it's a 3-day event, but there's like 2 different qualifying groups on 2 different days. And so it's cool. We're in the first qualifying group that is day 1, and then day 2 we have a rest day, and then day 3 is finals. So it actually gives my body a bit more time to recover and skin to heal up. And that's kind of why I also let myself go overtime a bit in these sessions. And I didn't feel like I could overdo it too much because there's like so much rest. We've got a rest day tomorrow, and then qualifier day, and then another rest day, and then finals. And the qualifier day and the finals day, like the rounds are like way in the evening. It's pretty funky. So I got plenty of time to rest up. But yeah, I am feeling like quite solid, quite strong. Like I felt like not super strong on the first day that we were here, but the body felt good. And then the second day, which was today, I felt both of the best of both worlds. My body, like my movement was feeling really good. All my, neural pathways in my head for comp style movement are firing, and now I'm feeling strong too. And I'm psyched. So I feel like this Jackalope event is going to go pretty well. It's kind of, like a low stakes event. It's like more for fun. But that being said, there's like $2,500 for first in Canadian dollars, which is, pretty motivating, and is like, it puts a bit of pressure on for the event. Definitely would like to win that, especially since there's 2 of us. That's the potential to win some nice money and take home with us. So yeah, we'll see about that. But I'm looking forward to doing like a super fun event in a couple days.